Hello, my fellow comrades. It's I, El Jefe, David Duford here at davidduford.com, where I help insurance agents like you become top producing insurance professionals. My question to you is, do you feel the burn? Maybe you do, maybe you don't. That might be a good thing. Might be horrible. Well, the reason I'm putting together this video is to talk about kind of a timely a political thing that's going on known as our American elections, and the potential advent of what's called Medicare for All. And I'm not going to comment politically on anything, so don't get your pantyhose in a twist. The purpose for me putting this video on is really just to kind of talk about what the consequences may be to those of you out there who are selling Medicare if a Medicare for All solution comes out. Better yet, what may the opportunities be if you decide to do this and we see Medicare Advantage or Medicare for All actually come in. So let's talk a little bit about that. I think the best way to describe what Medicare for All would mean, it can mean all sorts of things. There's only the description of it versus what actually would happen usually is completely different. But the idea behind Medicare for All is to obviously relieve the cost burden to Americans for their health expenses. But with a system like that, it's likely there won't be totally comprehensive coverage. So I think there may be opportunities that exist. Again, I don't know. I'm just guesstimating here. Opportunities for supplementary coverage to cover the gaps, very much like Medicare. Right, we've got Medicare right now. We've had it for years. And one viable product that's always been profitable, that's been a good deal for agents to sell, is Medicare supplements. So I think that the idea that Medicare for All will destroy the Medicare, 65 and older crowd or product lineup is I don't say far-fetched, but I think should be more opportunity than not, because what the government will come up with invariably won't be enough for totally comprehensive coverage. So I think there's going to be room for that. Again, don't know for sure, just kind of a gut instinct. However, let me give you the negative corollary to that, and that is recounting what Obamacare did to the health insurance agent. So this is a cautionary tale. Things likely repeat themselves. And you need to be aware of this if this is something you decide to get into. So when Obamacare came around, the idea here was that this is going to be a new market with people who never had insurance before, and that's how it was pitched. Insurance agents were making probably 15% renewal commission, possibly more, on their health insurance book of business. This is what we call the under 65 crowd. And I have talked to lots of agents. They were making $200,000 plus a year. This is after the advent of 20 years of work, all made passively, not a lot of service work. Obviously, there was service work when they needed to, but they had built this large book of business. The problem was, as it really always has been, is that health insurance is a political fire rod and lightning rod. And when Obama got elected, it was partially on the basis of passing healthcare legislation reform. And so what happened was, it wasn't all of a sudden, but agents started to lose business. And not only lose business, but they also started to see reductions in their commission. So I can remember reading on the insurance forum years ago, agents complaining, I was making 15%, then they moved it to 10%. 5%, 2%, and now they give me a letter that they're still my client. These people are my clients, but I don't make anything. They've literally moved my commission to zero. And so it destroyed businesses. And this is a risk with any kind of insurance, any product that has some, political aspects to it. So I would be being dishonest if I said I didn't have any concerns about what could happen with the advent of a total rewrite of the Medicare system. I know that it would not be comprehensive. I don't know for sure, but pretty sure based on what I've seen out of the attempts that it would not be comprehensive coverage. And there would possibly be an opportunity, but there could be a drawback. It could be a complete decimation of a market. So, at the end of the day, I'm not too concerned. I'm more concerned about this long term than I am short term. I don't think this idea will come to fruition probably in the next decade to 2 decades. That's kind of what I'm thinking. I don't think that there's an immediate risk for this to happen. There's a lot of resistance toward this idea, especially with what a lot of people think are a failure, is what Obamacare did. So that's just one man's opinion. Something to be concerned about. There is opportunity and there's concerns, just like anything. So take that with consideration if you decide to get into Medicare or that market, that long term that you may be facing that. Best case, you've got a ton more prospects, and let's all cross our fingers. David Duford here at davidduford.com if you want to learn how to sell insurance like a top producer. Check out my website, then click Join Dave's Agency for more information on how to join. Thank you so much for listening. Take care.